Welcome to Mindset Monday. Take two. Whoever was here and caught the Mindset Monday I attempted to do earlier, I didn't have any audio. And for whatever reason, I can't see the friggin' comments in the new Facebook live producer. So I couldn't see when Felicia, thank you, Felicia, you were like, I don't know if it's just me, but I couldn't hear it. I have my husband here because he was helping me test it. I love you, baby.
Hello.
Te amo. Thank you. You guys, I just had a moment. So I recorded what was a really beautiful Facebook Live on Mindset Monday. And then when I, set the replay or whatever, I went to listen to it to make sure the audio sounded good. And the audio did not sound good because it didn't sound like anything. So I was like, wow, I just shared 14 minutes and 57 seconds of a really beautiful share, and the audio wasn't working. And my, oh my, what a lesson. So I called Jules right ahead and I was like, is there any way to fix this? There's no way to fix because there was no audio recorded. So no way to fix it. And it turned out to be a really powerful growth and learning lesson because I literally went into like a constricted hole of like, that just happened and I got really pissed off. Ultimately, I hadn't changed a little microphone setting that I've got to do before I go live. And again, what a lesson. And I told, Jules was like, so what was your video about? And I said about living your truth. He's like, okay, then go ahead and live your truth and go again and do the thing that you say you do, which is to, believe in what's possible and keep moving forward. So here I am again, take two. If you're watching this in the Rock Your Life Facebook group, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for watching, whoever's catching this live and whoever is watching the replay, #replay, so I can know you're catching it later. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then I invite you to join the Rock Your Life Facebook group if you're a visionary female entrepreneur, coach, leader, woman who's making amazing things happen, because we've got a lot of great stuff going on there. Tools and inspiration and lots of goodness for like-minded women like us to build community and to create something really incredible. So without further ado, let's get right into Mindset Monday. And the topic for today and what I've been feeling into for this week has to do with living your truth, has to do with your authenticity. And, what an incredible moment for me to create something. And this is I also want this to be an opportunity for anybody who gets caught in the perfectionism of, wow, I failed and I don't want to do that again, or, oh my God, things happen. Sometimes tech doesn't, work in our favor. In this case, it was completely my fault. It was not the tech. I forgot to change a setting. And I was really going into kind of breakdown territory after. And it took me about 5 minutes. And also thanks to my amazing hubby for helping me like shift the mindset that I was in, because I was about to just like, forget this all, whatever. And instead, we get to pivot and we get to realign. And we get to anchor back into, okay, how can we show up in this moment and know that it was an opportunity for me to stretch into something new? So whoever out there is caught in that space of, you may be afraid to try something new because something might go wrong, my encouragement will always be to go for it. That's why I always talk about mindset, magic, and momentum, these three pillars that I love and are so near and dear to me, and I teach and coach on, because this is how you make amazing things happen. So let's talk about living your truth. So I sat in meditation right before doing this, before doing the first take of this. And I had about 15 minutes that I was that I sat in, and I asked for guidance on what to share today. And I already had kind of an idea. And then what I received right away was to talk about the state of the world. And my first reaction, my very honest first reaction was, come on. So many people are talking about the state of the world. I've talked about the state of the world. I was expecting the guidance to be a little bit more on a sort of strategic, like tip kind of thing, which there is a tip coming. There's absolutely a really good one coming. But to talk about the state of the world. And I mean, what I'll say briefly is I've been calling this period of time the Great Shift. And shift is something that's been very familiar to me in my life for the past couple of years, certainly, and in so many instances in my life, but certainly the past couple of years for myself personally, for me and my husband, for me in my career, for me in my, how I show up in the world, what I talk about, what I teach on. My goodness, my husband and I launched a podcast called The Couple Shift, which, by the way, we have an incredible interview with the amazing Michelle Zarin. She is a meditation teacher and spiritual guide. For those of you who've been here from the beginning, who watched Rock Your Life, the interview series back early last year, you remember Michelle. I had the pleasure of interviewing her. So we interviewed her for The Couple Shift. That episode went live yesterday. It's available right now wherever you find podcasts. It is so good, whether you are a seasoned meditator or you're just starting out and wondering, how do I start? It's the perfect episode for anybody. So we've been talking a lot about shift. And again, I'm calling this period of time the Great Shift. So what does this have to do with living our truth? So there's a lot that comes through for me when I think about the state of the world and where we are right now, where we find ourselves. And one of the common denominators to a lot of the conversations that happen that I've really explored within myself have to do with, this is a period where so much is being revealed. So much is being revealed and so much is being unearthed. And so it is a period of revealing. It's a period of uncovering and discovering and unbecoming, right? So it's this kind of like unraveling. And I want to bring in this piece of living your truth, because in order to live your truth, you must discover your truth. You must discover who you truly are, not who the world wants you to be, not what the world wants you to do or expects you to do, but who you truly are. And so the lesson and mindset that I want to share today, and I'm going to keep speaking into this week, is precisely that, is how do we create space to live our truth? How do we create space to discover ourselves so that we may live our truth? And this has a lot to do with noticing where we are overstimulated and over consuming something that is someone else's message or information. And so the practical tip for today, and that I want you to create this week, is to give yourself a self-discovery appointment on your calendar every single week, whether you plan on a paper calendar or you have a digital calendar. I love my Google Calendar. Having a self-discovery appointment, 30 minutes, even 15 minutes. If you can carve out an hour, amazing. I'd say at least 30 minutes sounds really delicious. 30 minutes for a self-discovery appointment. And the parameters for this are basically, bring yourself into a space of a quiet space. Maybe it requires you to wake up a little bit earlier than everyone else in the house. Maybe after everyone is settled in the evening, you carve out time then. Maybe you ask for that time during the weekend and create space somewhere in the house where you can, have that moment. Another parameter is, no social media, no books, no podcasts, nothing that means you're consuming someone else's information. And trust me, I love books. I love podcasts. I love, videos, anything that I love learning, and I love feeding my soul and my self-development and my self-mastery. And obviously I believe in it because here I am talking to you through social media, sharing something, that I hope is valuable to you. But I want you to carve out time to just be with yourself, to discover yourself. And that, if you're not used to that, it might actually be uncomfortable at first. It might actually, you're going to sit there and go, one of the first thoughts might be, oh, I should be using this time for something else. Or, just like, I don't really know what to do with myself. That's very common when we first explore that space. And here's the thing, is that the whole goal is to discover who you are. And when we're on this quest of, what do I have to do Where do I have to be? What do I have to do for someone else? There's very little time to really understand the most profound, powerful question that we can answer in this like lifelong quest of who you are. Who am I? What am I about? What is my truth? You know, independent of what anybody else thinks or says. And therein lies the power and the true fuel for your vision and how you get to show up in the world and how you get to serve powerfully. And when I say serve, it can be in any capacity. You know, it can be in the space of your immediate family, or it can be in that, you know, beautiful platform that you yearn to establish for yourself in your business, and that book that you long to write, in that, you know, mastermind program that you want to create for other female leaders, whatever it is that's lighting you up right now. It really starts with discovering who you are and knowing that through a process that could potentially be uncomfortable, you will actually go through that space of, oh wow, like once you pass that threshold, then so much more becomes available to you. So as we sink into what we're experiencing individually and collectively, you're probably getting called more and more to get to know yourself deeper. And maybe it doesn't exactly sound like that in your head, but there's a part of you that's been yearning to light something up from within. And I believe, you know, the most important work we can do is the work of becoming more of ourselves, more of who we truly are. So as a practical tip for you to start making happen this week is to schedule self-discovery time on your calendar for at the very least 30 minutes once a week. For sure, carving out more time is priceless. And again, this shouldn't be some structured time, because it's one thing to have, let's say you have your morning routine and you set your intentions in the morning or journal, or you do it in the evening, or whether you do that or not. This is an unstructured time for you to do something artistic, do something freeform. Just sit with yourself without any external stimulation or consumption or of anything else. And allow yourself to be in that moment. Allow yourself to witness your truth, to witness your light, to witness who you are, to witness what matters to you. And of course, journal, write it down. You know, a beautiful practice that you can do after you have that experience is to actually record a video of yourself. Doesn't mean you have to post it anywhere, just a video for you to capture what's coming up for you. That's one of the things that I used to do early on when I first really went on my self-discovery processes. I would record videos of myself talking through things and articulating things that were important to me. And then I would watch them back, and I would always be fascinated at the all the beautiful things that were coming from a place that was really deep and really, yearning to be really self-expressed. So, and remember that it's up to each of us. It's up to each of us to create that space. It's up to you to request it. It's up to you to carve it out. It's up to you to make it sacred and give it the importance that it deserves, so that you can then begin to make decisions from a more heart-centered, soul-centered place. So I hope this served you. I gotta say, I'm still feeling like, I gotta be honest, that first video was so cool. And that's okay. I got to do it again, and I got to talk about it again, and I got to practice this again. And I get to be mindful of technology and all these things. And when you're on the path of doing something that you love and doing something, it requires testing and experimenting and being a beginner and sometimes failing and lots of times failing and falling flat on your face and on your butt, all the things. And then we get back up and we turn the camera on again and we turn the computer on again and we go for it one more time. And in that, we further refine who we are and discover who we are. So I really hope that you create some space starting this week for that self-discovery appointment on your calendar. And I want to invite you to a couple of really exciting things happening this week, right here in this space and elsewhere. So on Wednesday, we have a new moon in Taurus. I'm all about those new moons. And every month, I host a gathering of visionaries. This happens on Zoom. So the post is somewhere here on Facebook, and I'll also add it to the, if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the description below so that you can sign up for that. It's a free experience that I do every month. It's a beautiful gathering. I do a meditation. We set intentions. I pull some oracle cards. It's a really, really good time with some other spiritual rock stars. And then on Thursdays, I'm hosting this brand new live interview series called Goddess Jam Sessions. And you can also participate right here in the Facebook group. I started it last week. It was incredible, and I'm doing it again this week, and it's going to happen every Thursday. So I'm interviewing these incredible goddess colleagues that I have that surround me, and bringing their rock star magic to you guys as well. So I'm sending you love. I want you to know how much I value you. I want you to know how much I value your time. I want you to know how much I honor the fact that you're here and the fact that you're on this journey and that we're on this journey together. And whatever I can do to provide you with the tools, the inspiration, the motivation, sometimes the kick in the butt that you need to live your truth, that's what it's all about, to live your truth, then I'm here for it. All right. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you soon. Adios.